Hey guys, Brian Brown here with FishingNet.com, and just going over recapping the BFL events that I fished. So far we fished 3. I'm going to recap the Shelbyville event, which was our second event of the year. I'd never been to Shelbyville before, and it was coming at a week where I was just coming back from Minnesota and had a lot of running around to do. So I was coming back from Minnesota. I stopped and pre-fished on a Tuesday. I spent the Tuesday up there after I drove back down from Minnesota. Got there on Tuesday and fished all day. Never been there before. Never really seen the lake. It's a beautiful lake. Really, really is. No houses on it. I mean, it's just a state forest all the way around it. High hills and everything. Very, very pretty lake. I was pretty impressed. Fishing wise, it was okay. Found some fish. Kind of had a couple ideas, what to do once I was done, but I just, put a bunch of rods on the deck, started running around. It had really, it's got some offshore structure, not a lot. A lot of the banks and stuff are really steep. They come out. I mean, you've got some trees and stuff laying there where you can see the exposed bank that you can flip. But after that, they seem to drop off really quick. But there are a few areas in the lake that had some flats and stuff. So I tried to fish it like I would on like Lake Barkley or Kentucky. Try to look at some of that offshore stuff because that's what I like to do. And I really couldn't get it to go. Caught a few walleyes up there doing that, but I just never really got the bass thing going. I did catch one really good one on a crankbait on a flat, but it was like the only fish. So I didn't really put anything together with it. I found a few fish that seemed like they were schooled up on little points along banks that looked like they were just a steep bluff, and actually started idling along there to be a little point down them, and you catch a few on a jig or on a worm on that, but nothing really stuck. I drove back down on Wednesday to come get the wife from the airport down in Nashville, and then got her on Thursday. It brought her home, and then turned around, drove up early Friday morning, and pre-fished again on Friday. And Friday, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go cover some more water and just pick up a flipping stick and just kind of flip around a lot more and see what I could find. I caught a few fish doing that, and I thought that bug just telling me, man, let's keep going up there and pull up the crankbait instead and see if you can find some of these offshore fish. Maybe nobody'd be doing it. And I just, for the life of me, I couldn't make the offshore fish go for anything. I really wished I could have. I idled around, looked at a lot of stuff, looked like there's fish down there. I couldn't get them to bite. I don't know if they're rough fish, carp, or white bass, or what the deal was, but and I got drawn in the tournament and wound up drawing a local guy who knew the water really well. In fact, his son had won a tournament there, and they do really well. So that kind of boosted my confidence. He was willing to he let me kind of do my thing for the first couple hours of the morning, and got a couple fish on spots that I wanted to go hit. And then he kind of just pointed out areas that he wanted to fish. His son was fishing it too, so he couldn't give me a whole lot because he didn't want to get in the way of his son. But he kind of keyed me in on doing some stuff, flipping around the banks and in certain trees and all. And so I took his advice. I wasn't going to be hard-headed. I only had we had the one keeper in the boat and one other short fish. And I thought, well, let's listen to this guy. And so we ran around and kind of checked some of what he was doing, and it worked out for us. He wound up weighing, I think he weighed in 3 bass, then just came short of a check, and I did the same thing myself. I had 4. In fact, he even took me to a tree and said, this is going to be a big fish tree. He took me over there, and I pitched up in there, and I got that bite. I mean, that was a big fish, and I was yo-yoing, gotten excited, rookie mistake. Got that bite, and that fish went out and under a limb, and I was pulling on him, and we were yo-yoing back and forth, and I got in a hurry, and I just put too much pressure on him. Rather than just give it, I had plenty of time. I should have just kind of kept working with them and just finally got him to come out, but I didn't. I got all excited and started hoofing on him, and the line broke, and man, that was a good fish. I wound up 30th. I had 8 pounds, 3 ounces, missed a check by less than a pound, 15 ounces, 9.2 got the last place check, and that fish was all of 15 ounces. That's probably a top 10 fish. I think 10th place was like 11 pounds something. So I know it was all of a 3-pound fish. Would have put me in the top 10, but woulda, coulda, shouldas. But that's how that one went. I feel real good about going back there. A lot our final tournament, the super tournament's on Shelbyville. So that if you don't catch them there, no matter how good your year is, you're pretty much done at that one. You've got to at least catch one fish up there for that, and it fishes pretty stingy in the fall. But he gave me some pretty good pointers as to what to do, and kind of the pattern we were on should work good in the fall too. So I'm actually looking forward to going back to that one. But that is your BFL recap for Shelbyville, and we'll do another one here for the Ohio River out of Galconda.